Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. We have two Canadian whiskeys. Hold on a second. No age statement. No age statement. The first one, and they're both 80 proof, okay? The first one is McAdams, introduced in 1987. There's the maple leaf with two lions. Imported, well, yes, because we're in the United States. Imported into Minnesota, bottled in Minnesota by Prestige Beverage Group, who imports this for the United States. Now, who makes it? What company actually produces this in Canada? I don't know, and I don't know how to find out. There may be some method to discover that, but I don't know. Blended Canadian whiskey, premium quality, aged 36 months, mellowed in aged oak, and the website says ex-bourbon barrels. To be specific, and that's it. It's got maple leaves all over it. Now on the bottle neck here, it's got 1, 2, 3 maple leaves. And there's the bottleneck, which you might be able to make out as a crown for the Dominion of Canada, King Charles III, King of Canada, you know. All right, clear bottle. Here's the competitor, Crown Royal XO, which means extra old. And I think that's a clue of how long it's aged. We don't know. There's no age statement, but you would think, since XO cognac is aged 6 to 10 years, this is probably aged 6 to 10 years. It's a guess. There's the Crown Royal XO. We know it's finished in cognac casks. So the last year or the last 6 months or the last 6 weeks, whatever, there's a crown for Crown Royal. It's finished aging in cognac barrels. All right. And I was looking at Diageo's website, and they don't show any cognac that they own. Now, does Diageo own any cognac brands? They might, because a lot of stuff Diageo owns, they don't put on their website, but I can't say because I don't know. They might just buy them from somebody else or rent the barrels, you know, such as that. Price. McAdams, $7.99 for a liter at Total Wine. Now the price has gone up, but when I bought it a couple of years ago, it was $7.99 for the liter. Good price, huh? That's assuming it tastes good. How about Crown Royal XO? $35 for this bottle. Fancy bottle. Heavy bottle too. $35 for $7.50. So we're going to get the price per ounce. Let's calculate that. Oh, good. Perfect. Got the same amount. That's a rarity. Usually I'll be off and then I go raise it, and I'm wasting too much. Okay. Nice looking. Yes. So can it destroy this plain Jane Canadian whiskey? Well, we're about to find out. It's darker. This is straw, like a straw, like you see in a barn, straw appearance. And this is more like an amber that you see in amber waves of green. All right. Now, let's calculate this. $5.99, $6. So if you bought the 750 milliliter bottle of this, assuming the price was the same as I paid for the liter, it would be $6 or $5.99. So $34.99 I bought at Walmart, Crown Royal XO, $34.99 versus $5.99. Is it going to be $29 better? I seriously doubt that, but we're going to see. I seriously doubt it's going to be better. Yes, but $29. 6 times 4 is 24. So for every one bottle of XO, I could buy 5 bottles of McAdams. You say, yeah, but if it's 5 times junk, you haven't gained anything. This is true, quite true. But I don't think it's junk from my recollection. Now, they had a great super sale last year, 2021 and 2022. Really, it was in 2021. By 22, they were all gone. Yeah. So let's say in 2021. Remember that year? Years ago. At Elio's Wine Warehouse. Don't know where they got this stash. But they had James Fox, Canadian blended whiskey, introduced by Seagram's in 1975, owned by Sazerac since 1989. $4.17 a bottle. Not a joke. $4.17 a bottle. It was $50 a case. So you could buy 12 bottles for $50 even. Now, I didn't buy it because I already had a big amount of James Fox. I didn't need more, but it wasn't $50 worth of junk. It wasn't 12 bottles of junk. It's not like fabulous or anything. It's just like average, like just standard, which average Canadian whiskey, in my opinion, it means it's good. You see, doesn't mean it's a C. Just the average Canadian whiskey tastes good. Not great. Not like you can't believe it. Just, it's fine. Well, that liquor store is only across the highway and down the street from Tulane University, across the interstate U.S. Highway 90, which stretches from Pensacola Beach, Florida, all the way to the Mexican border there. Well, it does go to the Mexican border, but then it doesn't cross the border. It just goes to the border, and it goes up to Van Horn, Texas. That's an old 4-lane, well, some parts 2-lane out in West Texas, but dangerous highway. There's traffic all on it, and you always feel like it's scary. It's old style, one of those old style interstate highways, from the 1950s or 40s, and the lanes are all close. So the way people handle that is to be looking at their phone the whole time. And when you go to West Texas, once you cross the Pecos River, it's a 2-lane highway, and the speed limit jumps to 80. 80 miles per hour on a 2-lane highway. I was driving 85, and I heard and a motorbike went past me. Motorcycle zoomed past me. I was going 85. So imagine him. No room for error there. Chance of survival in a wreck, 0 if you're at that speed. But anyway, by Tulane University, the speed limit is 35 miles per hour because it's going through the city. But that liquor store probably sold most of those bottles to the students. You would imagine that you say, yeah, they were sitting around sipping it and examining it and drinking it like this and taking care. Yeah, because how Tulane is very, very Those students very opposed to heavy drinking. This smells like cereal grain. This smells like cereal grain, but a much more elaborate approach. Like, and this is the Crown Royal, and I'm calling it now without even tasting it. Got it. So it's a taste challenge that required no tasting, because it's just obvious. Now, okay, let's break it down. The McAdams, it smelled like cereal. You say, what do you mean? Trix, Captain Crunch? No, I don't mean like that. I mean like in the food group, cereal grain, corn, barley, rye, possibly wheat. Okay, so this thing almost, we don't know, but I would say it's probably 85% corn liquor, corn spirits. It's probably 10% rye, and that gets you to 95%. And it's probably 5% single malt barley, like they call it in Scotland, single malt, or Ireland, single malt. Just malt. What that means, malted barley. But let's taste it. Now, it might be the same percentage for the Crown Royal, but it's finished in cognac cask, and it's obviously aged longer than 3 years. Derek, I never heard of Doc 57. Derek, thanks for watching. I've heard of VAT 69, but the only VAT 69 I can get here, the Scotch, is from Diageo too, by the way, they bought it, is VAT 69 Gold. I know where to find that. I don't know if VAT 69 Gold is any good. I don't know what makes VAT 69 Gold different from the original. I know it's a famous brand. It's not really like popular anymore, but so no. But I've had people tell me, "Oh, that's one to get," and so forth. But I never did understand the difference between the VAT 69 and the Gold. All right. So yeah, all the normal things you get with Canadian whiskey, like you get with American blended whiskey. Sugar water. It's just a strong flavor of sugar water. Water that's like nearly saturated with cane sugar. But in this case, it's not cane sugar, it's corn. Sweet corn gives it that. You see it at the store, a can of whole kernel sweet corn. Well, it doesn't taste that sweet because it's loaded with sodium, with sugar. I mean, with salt. So this has no salt. So if you eat sweet corn with no salt, it's going to be very sweet and sugary. And that sugar, that starch, that it converts to alcohol. All right. Do I taste any rye or wheat or barley? It's got peppery rye spice, yes. They used to call Canadian whiskey rye whiskey because it was allegedly higher rye content and all of this than American. Not true rye whiskey, like 51% or more, but yeah, breadiness, yeah. So yeah. And wood, there's an underlying oak barrel, ex-bourbon barrels. It tells you on the website, ex-bourbon barrels. Whose bourbon barrels? You're never going to know. And it probably changes. It's probably not any set company. It's probably just run-of-the-mill standard bourbon barrels, whoever they can get them from at the time. Edmund Williams, Jim Beam, Ancient Age, Bellows, very old Barton, Glen, Fleischmann, could be Fleischmann's bourbon. I think they make that still, believe it or not. I never had it. I know where to find Fleischmann's gin, though. Okay, but it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't matter. It's just standard bourbon barrels. Probably just standard. Usual, not unusual. Okay, so very nice, but definitely not distinguished in the sense that it is so unusual or so different relative to other Canadian whiskeys. No, it's like so just like the rest. Okay. What would be the reason for buying that? If you're into labels and stuff and you want to show people, look at this unusual product, look at this label, it's different, isn't it? And that kind of thing. Yeah. Otherwise, you just soon buy whatever is cheapest. But in this case, this one really was the cheapest. So it's a winner all around. Now, like I told you, the price went up. I think it's $8.99 at Total Wine now. I could still go to Walmart right this morning at 6 o'clock a.m. and buy a bottle of Canadian blended whiskey for $5.96. Caliber. Does it taste a lot like this? Yeah. It's a little bit more almond extract, nutty oil taste, but $5.96. Can you imagine for a full-size bottle? All right. Oh, this cognac barrel is coming out so strong. The aromatics here are dino and finished with might. I mean, it does have a sugar water taste. Now, I can't get away from that. But the wood. This is a whiskey saturated wood flavor. So the wood flavor is just front, middle, and back on the taste. Now, I had problem distinguishing this from other Crown Royals. Crown Royal Deluxe, depending on how they spell it 2 different ways on the website, which is inexcusable from a big company like that. Crown Royal Black, Crown Royal Blender's Mash or Bourbon Mash. My bottle says Bourbon Mash. I had a hard time telling it apart. In fact, I got it wrong twice out of 3 chances. So the problem there is that the Crown Royals are all like super premium. You know, even their cheapest one is super premium. So their quality control is so high because it's the most famous Canadian whiskey in the world and the best selling that they got to keep it superbly perfect. You know what I'm saying? Like there can be no tolerance for aberration. It's like Budweiser beer. They're so conscious of Budweiser being perfect that you just don't get a bad one. I mean, unless you go to a store that's crazy and they don't check their dates and you get one that's 3 years old, but that would be the fault of the distributor because they're supposed to go in there and check the dates all the time. And I do see them doing that. Now I talk to some Anheuser-Busch distributors and they say, oh yeah, we always checking the dates. Because the fear they have is that the QA team will show up, quality assurance team from Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch, and St. Louis. They'll just randomly show up in an area, start checking dates. And they got to hope that the dates are good because then a lot of careers go in the waste bin if they're not. And I've talked to salesmen for Anheuser-Busch and they said it doesn't happen like that. They don't say it better not happen again. They say get all your materials because you're going to get escorted out the building. You know, so they have a tasting of Budweiser every weekday at 3 p.m. Central. Every weekday at 3 o'clock Central. I guess not on Christmas Day, but they fly in samples of Budweiser and probably Bud Light too from all 12 breweries in the United States, and they have a team, a tasting team. I wouldn't be able to qualify for that team. I don't have the ability. And they taste it, and it had better not be any mistakes. You say everybody makes mistakes. Of course, we all make mistakes. And if you work for Anheuser-Busch and you do that, you just get fired. You know, no big deal. And Crown Royal's the same way. That's the point of what I'm saying. It's like they don't have mistakes. It doesn't exist. Now, I drink a lot of expensive craft beers, and people will say, well, they had a bad batch. And that's supposed to be okay. Like, you know, it's a small group of guys. They wear flannel shirts, and they have their hair and a lot of tattoos. And, you know how it goes, man. You have bad batches, man. You know what I mean, man. You dig it. You know, you're down. You dig it. It's power to the people, right on. And it's like, yeah, but they still shouldn't make mistakes. Like, I'm not buying the product because you down with it and you there to help give power to the people and get more tattoos. I'm really down because I want the beer to taste good. Nothing personal, but that's where my loyalty lies, not to your social justice movement. It lies in the fact that when I paid $5.99 for a 16-ounce can of beer, I want it to taste great, not kind of okay and good. I want it to be, perfect. Now, Wayne Franklin says Doc 57 is a Canadian club variant. I didn't know that, but I looked it up just now. It sounded like me. I see a blackberry version and a spice version. Oh, okay. Shows you that I had total ignorance of that. I know nothing about it. I like Canadian Club, and they're the same way. Like, you don't get a bad. It's like perfect. McAdams. It's probably the same way too with super quality control, because it's probably made by big. There's only like 5 big distilleries in Canada, so it's probably made by one of them. Who are the 5 big distilleries? Alberta. Who is it? Alberta Distillers, Crown Royal, the one in Montreal, Sazerac, Canada. That's 3. Black Velvet is 4. And 5. And they'll use all these alias names, like, because they don't want you to know they're making it. All right. I know there's 40 Creek. I said 5 big. 40 Creek's like mid-size. And they got bought out too by Campari of Italy. I don't care. Yeah, it's a lot of wood. There's a little maple syrup. There's a little, you don't really get, okay, I was about to say you don't really get grapes, and then I just got grapes. Okay. Raisin, maybe golden raisin instead of dark raisin. All right, but yeah. It's a winner. Now, question of the hour. Is it really $29 better? You could do a lot with $29, even this day and age. Like, you could buy a meal at McDonald's for yourself, and maybe a friend and a child. But in all seriousness, folks. Wait, that is serious. Yeah, I really don't think it's $29 better. It's better. It's all in there how you frame it. It's all about how you frame it. It's what you want to buy and how you want to address it. Do I regret buying McAdams? How would I regret it? It tastes good, and it was $7.99 for a liter. So why would I regret that? It's kind of plain looking, because it's a plain product. You ever seen an advertisement for McAdams? Right. No, you never have, and you never will. Maybe at a liquor store, they might have a point of sale thing this month only, saying, McAdams for this price. Now, Crown Royal XO, I don't recall ever seeing an advertisement for this, but you see a lot of commercials and magazine ads and internet pop up. They don't really have pop-ups anymore on the internet, do they? But you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? No, I mean, you'll see promotions for Crown Royal, not this, but Crown Royal. And I mean, any liquor store you go into, they're going to have a Crown Royal poster or a Crown Royal promotional or a Crown Royal something. That's a guarantee. So, yeah, every day of the week, you're going to see something promo in Crown Royal. But does it deserve it? I think it does deserve it. They got Crown Royal haters because they got some people out there that hate anything that's big. If it's big, they hate it. It's like beer. If it's a beer that you can buy in the store, they hate it. They're like, it used to be so much better when you had to get it at the drive to that bad part of town and be scared when you parked and get it at the brew pub. It was so much better, remember? Now it's like it's going down. It's like no one even cares if it's going down because nobody can even get it. Nobody ever heard of Shablip double IPA. Hazy, of course, can't be clear. You ever heard of drinking a clear beer? Only fastest strength clear beer. All right, Derek, in my location, it seems to be available anymore. It seems to be. In my location, it seems to be available anymore. Okay. All right. Anyway, well, thanks for watching. And we got a lot more coming because I got a lot of Canadian whiskeys. Not too many. Can't have too many Canadian whiskeys. All right. But I got a bunch. So thanks for watching, you guys. And that's it. Now I'm going to go watch the news. I got to go check. I'm sorry. I left some classified documents in my garage.